Coach Maurice Moody, Watson Chapel High School. So nice to have you here for the newsroom. And, unbelievable to think that you're going to be one of 3 new head football coaches in Jefferson County, all in the same conference. Ryan Mallett over at Whitehall, and we're waiting to see who Pine Bluff High School's next coach is going to be. But for you, just how excited are you to be at Watson Chapel?
Oh, very excited, man. I think Watson Chapel has a rich history and tradition of winning, playing a really good brand of football. My good buddy, George Shelton, used to be the head coach there. And so when I got the job, he called me and told me, he said, man, you're going to have a great time. You're going to win big there. So I'm excited about it. The kids have already started to buy into the program. They're working extremely hard. The community has wrapped their arms around me and made me feel at home. So, yeah, I'm loving every bit of it right now.
Now, I think you were hired in November or December, so you got really a head start to this football season. And today you all are starting spring drills. You know, what have you – I know you guys have lifted weights and whatnot, but what else have you been able to put in going into these spring drills to give these guys a great start?
Yeah, our main focus has been the weight room, kind of building some culture. Set some expectations, some goals, in the off season, being consistent, getting in the weight room, getting after it, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster. And so we start spring football today. We get an opportunity to get 10 days of pads on, so we're going to mix it up a little bit, see who can hit, see who can't hit, and try to get some things figured out, work on offense, defense, get the scheme put in.
Talking about personnel, how deep do you think this football team will be, or is that too early to tell? Because I know this team has dealt with a lot of injuries, and if they hadn't dealt with the injuries, they may have had a little more success this past season.
Oh, absolutely. I think we have a ton of talent here at Chapel. A little bit too early to tell exactly how deep we'll be, but I know we're going to have some kids that can get it done on both sides of football. Have a ton of talent there. So not sure as far as depth right now. But I know we're going to be able to platoon it, which is great. We don't have to play a whole lot of guys on both sides of football, so we're looking forward to that.
You will have to, or you won't have to play both sides? Oh, that's good.
Not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because it seemed like every school here in Jefferson County and a lot of other places in Arkansas had to do that. Why do you think that has been the case? Is it just the participation's not the same, or what do you think?
Yeah, the kids nowadays have so many other things, that's has their attention. The social media. You got these PlayStation and Xbox, the game systems, different things just has their attention. They don't play football like, you and I did. Growing up, you and I, you can look out in any yard, any field, and you'll see, a group of kids playing football, playing basketball. You don't see that not as much anymore. So, just participation, Yeah.
Tell me about Maurice Moody, the guy that grew up in Earle, Arkansas, and give me his football background.
Yeah, sure. I don't want to get too emotional here. I just lost my mom December the 4th this past year. So, but single parent home, she did an amazing job, with me and my little brother, and played high school football, ran track. I just listened to her and said her daughter's about to throw the shot. I threw the shot in discus in high school, threw it in college. Went to Arkansas State, played under Joe Hollis for a couple of years. Left college, came back, and got to work for my alma mater at Earle, and that was an amazing experience for me. But I started learning and started really loving the coach aspect of it is when my little brother, he was about 5 or 6 years old, and we have a huge family. He had a lot of cousins that was around his age. And so I just started, being their quarterback and drawing up dissecting plays and, teaching them how to tackle. I just kind of fell in love with the coaching part right there.
Yeah. You went from Earle, I think, to McClellan High School, which is now, it merged with J.A. Fair into Little Rock Southwest High School. You really changed the culture at McClellan High. What did you see you had to implement there, and how did you bring McClellan back to prominence?
Yeah, well, I went from Earle to Blytheville.
To Blytheville,
Yes,
okay.
Blytheville to McClellan. But yeah, McClellan, a lot of people don't know, McClellan was actually the place to be, in the late 70s, in the 80s. And, it wasn't West Little Rock. It was the southwest area of Little Rock. And so there's always been a lot of talent there. They've won state championships there before, in the 70s or whatever. And when I got there, I saw that McClellan had plenty of talent It just didn't have a whole lot of structure, didn't have a whole lot of discipline, and the culture of winning wasn't there. And so that's kind of what I brought in. I brought in, a culture of winning, holding those guys accountable, making sure they lift weights, making sure they take care of their grades, to give them opportunity, to play on Friday nights, and, just kind of built a family-oriented, atmosphere. And the kids bought into it. This Thursday will be my second NFL player, getting drafted, Pierre Strong Jr., ran the fastest 40 of all running backs, 4.37 in the combine. He's getting drafted this Thursday from McClellan High School.
That is unbelievable. Now, what college did Pierre Strong?
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State. Yeah, and that is a really good football school because I covered a lot of FCS, and obviously UAPB is in the FCS.
Yes.
Coaches usually have like 5 pointers as to 5 steps to success. What are 5 steps, or if you have more than that, what are those steps to success at Watson Chapel?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think there's 5 steps. All coaches are different. One of my biggest things is relationship building. Kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I make it my business to build a relationship with the child, and kind of open up, to them. We do different things, bringing the kids, to our house. Cooking for them, just building that family type atmosphere, and then building a culture of winning, and not just winning on the field, winning in the classroom, because they got to understand that they're a student first, and kids get that confused with coach, I'm an athlete. No, you're a student first. You're a student athlete, so we build that culture, and after the culture building, we just start working hard. And that's it. I do 3 steps. I don't necessarily need 5. Relationship building a culture of winning, and hard work.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, first of all, have you completed your schedule?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
And we know a big part of that schedule is going to be getting to play Pine Bluff High,
Yes.
which for many years was the first game of the year. It was non-conference. Now it's going to be conference. And then you're going to meet up against the 5A runners-up, the Whitehall Bulldogs, and they have a new head coach in Ryan Mallett. What are you looking forward to the most in those rivalries?
Yeah, I think those, when you have a rivalry like crosstown type rivalry, the atmosphere is going to be electric. Everybody's going to be talking about it. These kids know each other, so you just kind of look forward to those type of ball games. The build-up is going to be amazing, so you just want to make sure that you're prepared, and the kids go out and give everything they got, leave it all out on the field, but definitely look forward to it. Ryan Mallett, I think, is going to do a great job at Whitehall. He replaced my good buddy, Coach Bolden. He and I go way back. We coached in an all-star game together. I remember when he was at Stuttgart, when he was at Mark Tree, so I think Ryan he's coming in. It's always tough to follow the man, and he has some big shoes to fill, but I think he'll do great right there. Pine Bluff High, I don't think they hired anybody yet, but I think they're going to get in somebody that's really good and they have a ton of talent at Pine Bluff High. So, playing each one of those guys is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a dogfight, I can guarantee you that.
Speaking of the man, you mentioned George Shelton, who called you about the opportunity at Watson Chapel. He's now at Little Rock Central.
Yes.
He also coached Dalloway for a few years and Augusta High for a few years. How did you know George Shelton, and how are you working well with the athletic director, former head coach Jared Dutton now?
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, George and I go way back. I remember he was at Augusta. We've had many conversations. We talk probably once a week. He's kind of like my mentor. He's an amazing guy to be around. His enthusiasm is electric, and it just kind of, falls into my lap a little bit. And he tell me, he said, Coach, man, we cut from the same cloth. We talk all the time. So he's just an amazing guy. And Coach Dutton, he's been wonderful. He's helped with the transition. He's a really good guy, to be around. He's helped any way he can. He's been right there for me. Anything I need, he's been right there to take care of me.
Tell me a little bit about your family.
Yes.
Your own family.
Married. Me and my wife, we got 3 kids together. I got 2. Got one older outside and one younger outside. So got a total of 5 kids. My wife Aquila, she works at Walmart over personnel. And kids range from 18 all the way down to 4. You know, and I'm having a birthday seem like every other month. Matter of fact, my daughter's birthday is today. You know, so yeah.
Happy birthday, young lady.
Family-oriented guy. You know, we ask the kids all the time, "What's your why?" They're my why. You know, so yeah.
Gotcha. What else you want to say about Watson Chapel football this fall?
I just think it's headed in the right direction. Like I said, the kids are bought in, and I can't wait, you know, to see what they do on Friday nights, to see all that hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, see it pay off. You know, those kids are doing everything that I ask of them. And the blue-collar type workers, they come to work every single day. I don't have to say anything to them about, you know, picking it up, anything to them about, you know, your energy. They give it every single day. So I'm really proud of those guys. Can't wait to see what happens in the fall.
Maurice Moody, head football coach at Watson Chapel High School. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man.
Go Cats.
Mm-hmm.